Okay, welcome everyone. So this video we're just going to go over the car list for today and the tunes available for them. Just some standard tunes provided by Captain Emerald. So the 5 cars you've got to choose from, we've got the Toyota Crown Athlete, Ford Mustang GT350R, Ford Mustang GT, the Dodge Charger and the Camaro ZL1. We do have a 6th car available. I don't own it. It's the Toyota Crown Athlete with the Lexus engine swap. The tune for that is available in the Discord should you wish to use it. But for now, you can see we're at Tri-Oval. Just going to go over the tunes, go over the cars, do some laps, just so you can see the overall pace on some of these. I'm by no means the best driver for this, but should give you a nice base and understanding for what to expect. So without further ado, let's get into the Crown Athlete. So for this one, parts you are going to need is the first rate reduction stage, in bore up, high lift camshaft, high compression pistons, weight reduction stage 2 and the ballast. In semi-racing you're going to want the racing crankshaft, the fully customizable computer and the fully customizable LSD. In the racing category you've got the stroke up, the engine balance tuning, polished ports, the high-end supercharger, the racing intercooler, racing air filter, racing silencer, racing exhaust manifold, racing brake pads, racing brake discs, slotted or drilled, doesn't matter, the fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, fully customizable racing transmission, and then of course the medium tyres. So this is the tuning page you've got. You've got 105 on the body heights, 4 on the anti-roll bars, pretty standard. I think this one's actually pretty standard, from what I remember. Limited slip differential doesn't need changing at all. A 50 to 150 downforce. 180 on the ballast. Balance positioning, just keep it central. You can move it around to fit your preference. 350 automatically adjusted, no manual adjustment on the gearbox as a base. And then of course here are all the parts installed and how the sheet should look, which will give you the 597 horsepower along with the 1500 kilograms in weight. So we are in the Crown Athlete. We're just going to do our out lap, so this first lap's not really going to give you a very good representation. So we're just going to take this lap, try and build up some speed, and then the second lap will be a bit closer to what you can expect from the actual car. And you see we're still building up speed during this lap. I do find this car can get a little bit loose if you are a bit too rough with the steering, so smooth input's definitely preferred. As you see, it's also got the 7 gears, which is quite the big help when it comes to fuel, as we will be having tyres and fuel depreciation on this race. And I've made a mistake on this lap, so we'll go one more after this. Bloody hell, it's certainly quite difficult. So we are, we've got a 46.1 on that lap, and just as a recommendation, hold sixth gear as long as you can. That seems to be the fastest way around this track in this car. Obviously it's not going to be very good for fuel. Yeah, that is the Crowne Athlete for the Mini Daytona 500. Right, so now moving on to the Ford Mustang GT 2015. You're going to want the rate reduction stage 1, rate reduction stage 2, a ballast, fully customizable computer, fully customizable limited slip differential. You're also going to want the engine balance tuning, a high-end supercharger, racing intercooler, racing air filter, racing silencer, and the racing exhaust manifold, along with the racing brake pads, racing brake disc, again doesn't matter which ones, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, and the fully customizable racing transmission. So for the body height you're going to want 85 to 95, 10 to 1 anti-roll bar, standard damping 1.8 to 2.05 natural frequency, 3 degrees camber, and no toe on the front and 0.2 toe in on the rear. Standard limited slip differential, 20 to 70 downforce, 92% output on the fully customized computer, 156 kilograms of ballast. Keep it central, of course move it to your preference, and then again automatically 350 on the top speed with no manual adjustment. And then this is the right hand side of the tuning sheet, just so you can make sure it looks similar, and that will give you the 600 horsepower and 1500 kilograms. Right, moving on to the lap. Again, just going to do single lap and then the flying lap. Going to have the Toyota Crowne time up on the left as well, just so we can compare it. It will also be on the end of the video should you want to just skip around, find the car you want, find the timing. That is up to you. This car looks to be pretty strong, 46.1 on the standard outlet. But remember, we do have boost on in this event, so the car choice is more of a preference. Find the one which enjoy driving, which one looks the best, you know, which one you want to drive, and the boost and the slipstream should keep you in play the entire race as it is. There we are, as we see the Mustang with a 45.4. Again, not the greatest lap in the world, but good enough to give you an idea on what it should be like. Next car we've got is the Shelby GT350R. So for this one you're going to want first rate reduction, ballast, fully customizable computer, fully customizable limited slip differential, high-end supercharger, racing brake pads, racing brake discs, again started, drill, doesn't matter, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, fully customizable racing transmission, as well as the medium tyres of course. So you're going to want 75 to 95 front to rear just body height, 10 to 1 anti-roll bar, standard damping 2.3 to 2.5 natural frequency, 0 camber and 0 toe, standard differential 80 to 100 on the downforce, 92% output on the ECU, and 25 kilograms of ballast, as well as the 350 km/h automatically adjusted top speed. Then here again is the right hand side of the tuning sheet for you to check yours up against. Okay, so time to see the lap in the Mustang. This car, very temperamental rear end, actually quite easy to lose it. I was doing some laps just now. Yeah, we lost the rear end coming through the final banking. Very quick car, hits the 200 mile an hour threshold quite easily. But yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. Rear end can lose it very quickly. Yeah, as I was going to say, during these events, because we're in time trial, so we haven't got the you know, automatic setting where everything's the same for every attempt, but we have it set to the fine weather, so 5 o'clock fine weather, and because we're doing it in the same session for all these cars, the wind is 5.5 meters per second northeast, which is going to boost these lap times quite a bit, because that is pretty much identical to the main straight of this track. So in race, the top mile an hour might be a little bit lower, because we do have that tailwind all the way down here. As you can see here, I'm actually fighting with this car a bit through that last corner. But pace-wise, that's going to be a 45.5. So a very strong car, probably on match with the other Mustang actually. But yeah, so that is the GT350R. Next car we're going to be doing is the Dodge Charger. So I'll be back with you in a second. Right, next up we have the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat from 2015. Again, all these cars are available in the brand central. None of them are really too expensive. So we've got the rate reduction stage 1, rate reduction stage 2, ballast, fully customizable computer, fully customizable LSD, rate reduction stage 3, racing brake pads, racing brake discs, and doesn't matter which disc you go for, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, fully customizable racing transmission, and then rate reduction stage 4. So onto tuning. Suspension, you want 84 to 82 on the body height, 8 to 2 anti-roll bar, 30-30 compression ratio, 40 to 36 expansion ratio, 2.3 to 2.5 natural frequency, no camber, no toe, standard differential, 70 to 120 downforce, 81% output on the ECU, 75 kilograms of ballast to get you up to 1500, and then ballast all the way to the rear with 50. Transmission auto adjust 370 kilometers an hour, no manual adjustment on the basic tune. Here again is the right hand side of the tuning sheet for you to have a look at. Nothing special, just the 4 rate reduction stages. So this is the Dodge Charger's lap. Unfortunately I had a bit of a mess up with my thing, so we're just going to watch it back in the replay. This was the 2 laps I just did. It ended up with a 43.9 of some sort. So a very strong car, but it does have an issue with oversteer in the banked corners. It reached a top speed of about 209, which is quite a lot higher than what we had before. As you can see there, very easily lost the rear end. So a bit of a risk reward to this car, but I will let this play out for the lap. It's quite a nice car to drive. I would say you need to be comfortable with a car which you are going to lose the rear end a lot. Like even here, I'm battling with this car quite a lot. It's constant steering adjustments. Of course, I am on a pad, so it may be slightly different for those on wheel. But just as a warning, very easy to lose a rear end, very strong car, which won't actually give you that much of an advantage in the actual race, as we are going to have the heavy boost and the heavy slipstream. So even cars like the Crowne can keep up very easily. In our last event, actually, the Crowne did win. So it is a base of just choose which one you want, which one you enjoy driving. But as we come around now, final corner, you can see we're not exactly taking it smoothly, which is a bit of an issue. But we come round and we are going to set a 43.945. So that is the Dodge Charger, and it's tuned. Next car we're going to be moving on to the Camaro ZL1. See you in a minute. So here we have the Camaro ZL1. So for this car you are going to want stage 1 rate reduction, stage 2 rate reduction, ballast, fully customizable computer, fully customizable limited slip differential, rate reduction stage 3, racing brake pads, racing disc, of course doesn't matter which ones, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, fully customizable transmission, along with the medium tyres. So you want 1990 body height, 10:1 anti-roll bar, standard compression and expansion, 2.5, 2.7 natural frequency, 6 degrees of negative camber on both ends, no toe, standard limited slip differential, 100 to 150 on the downforce. Be warned, if you have a rear diffuser it will affect the front downforce, you won't be able to get it down to 100. 87% on the ECU, 98 kilograms of ballast, ballast positioning central or wherever you want it, and then again automatically adjusted 350 kilometers an hour, manual adjustment if you know what you're doing. Here again, right hand side of the tuning sheet, nothing special, first 3 stages of rate reduction, no extra parts, and yeah, onto the lap. So here's the Camaro. So probably be my choice for the event. I'm not 100% certain yet, but I will end up with the Camaro. This is not the livery I'll be using. I still need to make that. But this car seems very good at the low end. It's very good at building up that speed. I don't think any of the other cars were quite as quick, except maybe the Charger, for getting up to speed properly. But this car just seems a lot more stable than the Charger, but still definitely has some grunt to it as we hit 204, 205, yeah, 206 miles an hour, only a few miles an hour off the Charger, but it is a lot more stable. And 45 flat on the opening lap. And again, it's just so stable through these turns. So 208. So it still hit 208 miles an hour. The Charger was only doing 209. So Camaro, definitely a very good choice for those who like driving it. So as we come round, we've got 44 flat, so only about a tenth off the Charger. And that concludes the car tuning list. So those are the 5 cars that I have. Of course, as I said, I don't have the engine swap to a Crowne, but that is in the Discord should you wish to join. But I will see you in a second as we go over the lap times. Okay, so here are all the timings from the testing we've just done. As you can see, we've got the Charger at the top with the 4394, the Camaro with a 440, the Mustang GT and the Shelby GT350 pretty much the same, 45.4, 45.5 respectively, and then the Toyota with a 46.19. Again, I've said it before, I'm going to stress it again. We've got settings on, so it doesn't particularly matter which car you use, and the tune isn't particularly important. I know some people are going to want the most competitive car, so for that I would say it's probably Camaro. But yeah, with the high amounts of boost and the really strong slipstream, last time we did this, it was a Toyota Crowne that actually won. So it really doesn't matter which car you choose, just choose the one you want to have fun with. And yeah, we hope to see you in the event. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.